Alright, so we got a new update to the tier list. We got 4 new characters ready to be ranked here. 4 new ladies. Uh and I already kind of know where I'm placing them, but one of them is just funny. Like, one of them is just funny. I did make some quick alterations to both the PvE and PvP tier list. If you want to just take a quick look at the top here, I did bump up Tarmiel and Blue Merlin. They should have been here in the first place. I don't know why they weren't. I bumped up some of the Catastrophe teams to sub-meta. I bumped down, I think. Yeah, I bumped down the 2 ult rushers because ult rushing with these 2 has not been as good now as it was like a month ago. I bumped down Yori. He was incompetent, but honestly, like, he just can't compete. I think I should bump you up. There's not much to use. I did bump up Red Skinny King to can be fun to use. Because I did make the Holy Relics for Skinny King, and you know, I felt like these 2 are like usable, right? But I believe I still kept Green Skinny King here because he's just garbage. And then I kept Halberd here. He's just not very good. Even with his Holy Relic, he's just not very good. Okay, I think that's it for the PvP1. The PvE1, I did bump down Red Galfer and Margaret. I feel like for me, on my tier list, I will put up the characters that are like either phenomenal for literally every single thing in the game, or they are phenomenal for bird or deer. And so these are the characters that I felt like deserve to be at the top. These are the characters that are phenomenal for Demonic Beast Battle, which is the only hard PvE activity in the game. Matrona, literal god. Free to play, by the way. She's been given out for free this celebration. Absolutely amazing. So good. The one's still fantastic. You kind of need him to be 6'6", but he's still fantastic. And I need to explain, right? I bumped down Margaret only because I feel like she's not as good for deer and for bird as these other characters are, but she's still very good, don't get me wrong. I bumped up Shin with the Holy Relic. When I rank characters in my tier list, I rank them all with Holy Relic, because it would be just unfair if I'm ranking like Ban with the Holy Relic and not like Roxy, for example. That would just be unfair, right? Why would I pick apart which character deserves to be ranked with or without Holy Relic? So I ranked every character with Holy Relic. Now that's all out of the way, let's start ranking some characters, or more specifically the new characters. Let's start with the funny one. So, Elat. What an interesting release. Elat came out with Scotty in a just atrocious decision of a drop. Like, I genuinely don't know why they even bother releasing this character. She's just horrendous in every way imaginable. She is a guild boss only character, right? So you would be like, okay, she's gonna be very good for guild boss, right? You are incorrect. At least, okay, I'm gonna preface this. The current guild bosses, she's not good for. The current ones. There could be a new guild boss. Or something. But the current guild bosses, she's not a top unit for it. So if they release a character that has a passive that only works in guild boss, but then the son of a bitch isn't good for it, what's the point? So she's horrendous for PvP, and she's horrendous for PvE. Oh, no. You're not going there. And she's horrendous for PvE as well. So she goes at the bottom for both. Again, if a new guild boss comes out and she's actually good for, then I'll bump her up, obviously. If she was good in the first place, I'll put her here for has a use case. But she isn't. You know who has a use case? Where is she? Where is she? I know you're up here. Are you not? Did I oof? No, she is up here. Yeah, she is. Bro, so many characters. Red Elet is better than blue Elet. Get out of here. So yeah, that's Elet. That's the funny one. Now, the other three characters are actually pretty good, so it's not comedic or anything. Let's go in order of release, right? So let's go next with the Scotty. So, no, yeah, Scotty. Scotty is generally very good. Decreases all enemies' attack and defense by 8% and increases allies' skill damage dealt by 15% per debuff on the hero. She does debuff herself. And if you're facing an enemy who is debuffing you, this Scotty can be very annoying to them. She is actually, I want to say, very unpredictable to face. Like, if you're already using a team that has a debuffer and you end up facing her, she can be very annoying. But if you're not, then she's a 0. Like, that's the thing. That's the only thing about her, is that she sort of depends on who she's facing when it comes to PvP. I'm going to talk first about PvP, right? I have two separate tier lists, right? I have a PvE and a PvP tier list. So, just talking about PvP right now. On PvP, when you're using her, it can be very unpredictable, right? Like, a lot of people that you face do use Kyo, sure. And a lot of people that you face do use, like, debuff characters, sure. But a lot of times you don't face a character that has debuffs, and you just have a character that is just sitting there not doing much, because her card is actually pretty good. This card has a very high multiplier, 625, for a card that actually has an effect. Like, yeah, it's debuffing you, right? Sure, but it's not by much, and the debuffs are actually helping you. And she has a buff removal, which is pretty good, and her ult heals allies. So for PvP, I would not call her meta for sure, like, obviously, but I want to put her either sub-meta or competent. I think sub-meta. She is very good. It's just very dependent, right? It's like, okay, it's just like when you're using, like, the catastrophes, right? The catastrophes are also very good, but it depends on who you're facing. A lot of people, when you're using the catastrophe and you face them, they're just gonna one-shot your turn 1. But if you don't face someone that's gonna one-shot your turn 1, you can actually stall enough that your characters are gonna become super strong, especially mono, and you can just heavily cock them and win. Like, it's just a very, very like that sort of situation. Same thing with Assault Melee. Assault Melee is, like, very situational as well, very good in ungeared. A lot of people very, very much underrate Assault Melee. I think he is, right now, especially pretty good with Melancholy coming out. We'll talk about Melancholy in a second, but he's pretty good actually right now in PvP. I wouldn't call him meta, but he's definitely, for sure, sub-meta. I did bump down the one. The one is very good. It's just, I see that a lot of people run him on global. I've seen a lot, I don't play global, so, but I've seen, like, my comments saying, bro, all I face on global is the one, Trader Melee, and Green Galfer. But, like, being real, the one is not meta. Like, he's just not. But he's very good. I would say Assault Melee might just be better than the one right now on PvP. I don't know. It depends on who you're facing. It very much depends on who you're facing. I would say Scotty is probably better than the one. But again, depends on who you're facing. The one's a more general character. Everyone you're facing is going to be, like, similar, right? Well, Scotty, you kind of depends on facing. It depends on facing a debuff character. If you're facing a debuff character, Scotty, like, shoots up, like, at the top of sub-meta, right? If you're not, just the bottom, So, for her, it's like that. And for PvE, she's actually very competent. I would actually put her in generally good. I wouldn't put her in has a few strong use cases, because I think she's very competent for bird and deer, especially deer. I wouldn't recommend it though, because Matrona is just objectively better, but she's still good, and I think I wouldn't put her here. I think I would actually keep her here, because she's just generally good, and she has 2 single targets, which can be actually very helpful for specific stages. So I'll keep her there. I wouldn't, I don't know if put her at the top there. I mean, not that it matters. Like, this is not like ranked from like top to bottom or anything, but yeah, I'll just put her there. I think she's pretty good. And not anything crazy, but she's pretty good. So moving on to Melancholy. Melancholy is one that I've been recently like trashing on. Not because the unit is bad, the unit is very good. It's just a lot of people I've been seeing on Global are summoning for Melancholy when we literally have a festival character coming. Like, it's just, in terms of like how good Melancholy's banner is, it's very okay. Well, like a festival banner is obviously much better, right? But Melancholy is truly very good. I would put her on here. She actually makes up like really good support, because the thing with Melancholy is that she's both supporting her allies with the 20% and like cucking Keos, right? If you face a Keo, she goes here, right? She just absolutely cucks him, and when you're facing someone that has a Keo, you are literally cucking their whole team, because their whole team is based on Keo. Like, they can still win, but it's kind of unlikely. But if you don't face a Keo, you're just basically using her for the 20%, which is nice, but the issue is that you need to give her lifesteal rolls to get the full 20%, which ends up making so you have horrendous CC with her. My Melancholy with basically perfect gear, all cosmetics maxed out, all of that, has 55, almost 56 KCC, while a character like, I don't know, Keo, let's compare, has like 64 KCC. It's like a huge disparity in terms of CC for two characters, right? And that's a major problem, I feel, for her. But it's just the fact that you have to run her with lifesteal rolls was a bit of a shaft in her part. I think that she should have just given 20%. Like, if they're gonna make it like this, I think they should have just given her 20%, because it's not like she gives it in the back either. She has to be in the front, right? So it's not like he would have been too OP. They should have just given her the 20. It is what it is. It's a bit of a shaft on her passive, but even if the shaft on the passive, I still think she's very good. Is she better than, I don't know, Goddess Liz? I don't know if I would say that, because the Goddess Liz, like, mono blue team is very good. It's on the cusp of not being meta anymore. I'm actually, it's just the mono blue team is good. So good that I think I should put her there. I don't know. I just feel dirty bumping up Goddess Liz. But Melancholy is very good in PvP. The shield is surprisingly decent. The thing is about the shield is that obviously she got trash Green Merlin shield, right? But with the stat buffing and stuff, the shield ends up being like quite decent, especially because it lasts 2 turns on level 1. And she takes off ultimate gauge, which is pretty good. So I would say she's actually a very good unit. Not, again, anything that would go crazy about, but very good. And then for PvE, I would also say she's generally good. I would not say that she's like up here. She is decent for Deer. I would say that she can be a decent replacement for Green Arthur or a Green Galfer, because, you know, you need to use a green unit, right? And for me, if I'm going to use a green unit, is either these three, right? Green Arthur, Green Galfer, or Brynhilder. Preferably Green Arthur or Green Galfer. And she's a good replacement, but not to the point where I would say she's like here. No way. It's just, the only thing that she's really bringing to the table is that on the Deer, if you have the shield up and you attack, the counter from the Deer doesn't do damage to you. That's the only thing that she brings to the table, basically. Because like the stat buff is okay. It's good. It's not as good as taking 35% less damage and doing 35% more though, because combined with melee just goes nuts. And she only has one attack card, which to me is one of the reasons why I much prefer using Arthur over Galfer. Having 2 attack cards in the Deer is much better. And then for the bird, it's just pointless because the bird lowers your lifesteal. And for everything else in the game, in terms of like PvE, there's not anything hard in the game, like other than Demonic Beast battles. So, you know, it's a toss-up. Like, you'd use like Green Shin, and then you just wipe everything that isn't like bird and Deer, right? Oh, but she's generally good because I think that she can be used for this. And I think she's probably going to be good for some like tower stages and stuff. All right, now to the festival unit, and I think this one might be controversial. I've used the end quite a bit. I have some videos I have recorded already that will be up today or tomorrow. A lot of videos that I've recorded using other teams, not just the end this week. I've faced the end quite a few times, and that has molded my opinion of her. Both fighting her and using her, right? Do I have to say everything she does? She has so much text. I'll read the passive. When allies receive damage from enemies' attack, increases the hero's damage dealt by 10% up to 50. When the hero loses HP due to skills or skill effects, accumulate the HP lost up to 500,000. When using skills, increases the damage by 20% of the accumulated amount. When she uses a stance, allies take 40% less damage. Now, two things. This is translated a bit incorrectly. It's when she takes damage, not allies. Not a big deal. And 500,000. I've used her on Deer. I beat floor 3 with her. I used her on Bird. I've used her in multiple PvP videos. I have never seen her hit 500,000. It's like impossible. It's so hard for you to hit 500,000. But this passive, this part of the passive, is honestly, to me, what grants her a high spot in the tier list. A lot of times when you're using this DN, and it's like later on the fight, your level 1s hit so hard because of the increased damage. Because, like, let's say you max out the passive, which is probably not going to happen. Again, it's like 500,000 is a lot. It's 100,000 more damage added on top of the damage you're already doing, which is extra 50. So your like level 1 cards, which you're going to be dishing out for the most part, right? Unless you have like a rank up, are actually doing very good damage. It's just very good damage. You're doing like 170, 180k on like Demonic Beast battle with level 1 cards. It's just very, very good damage with level 1s. Even on Deer and Bird, I did not get to 500,000. I got to like 380, 300 something k. I did not get to 500,000. It's just so hard. Her taunt doesn't have defense because obviously if she got defense, it would have been harder for her to get the 500,000 thing. But what that ends up making happen is that she takes so much damage. She does have 40% damage reduction, but the way damage reduction works in this game is so bad. Like, it's not bad, but like, it's difficult to explain. Like, damage reduction in this game doesn't work as well as in other games I play, like Dokkan, where if I have 40% damage reduction on Dokkan, I'm tanking. If I have 40% damage reduction on Grand Cross, I'm tanking. you know what I mean? Like, she takes so much damage. I've had so many DNs I face where they push an ultimate and then they put DN taunt, right? And then I kill DN because her taunt gives her no defense. And HP related stats by 12, it's okay. So in PvP, I think her only real use case is like ult rushing with her, because her ultimate hits hard at 6-6. Suppress, for each stance you do extra 50%, and she gives herself 3 stances on level 1. And it restores health. At 1-6 it restores like 3% of damage dealt. But either ult rushing with her or like another character you're running with her, and actually just that's it. That's all she does, really. Because, I don't know, PvP is not in a matter right now where you can actually use her and then just use her to accumulate damage to dish out damage. Although it can happen. A lot of matches I have her accumulate like, I don't know, 300,000 and then just level 1s and then they pop off, right? But especially when I face enemy DNs, I really see that, like, even when I face like whale DNs, like, I demolish them. I demolished the DNs because they're like, her taunt sucks. It sucks. Having a taunt character with no defense means they're just gonna die. Like, they just die. Like, the DN just dies. She takes so much damage. And like I just mentioned, there's a lot of the ones. This is a PvE one. There are a lot of the ones in PvP right now. Like, a lot of matches where you face the one, he does like 2 level 2 cards on you and you're almost dead with DN. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like, it is what it is, you know? And then you face Kusok from time to time. He demolishes her. It's a shame because I really wanted to put her here. But I can't. In good faith, I cannot put her on meta. She might need some support. Because the 40% damage reduction, which she does give to herself. I was actually for a second thinking she doesn't, because she just takes so much damage. It's just not enough. She just takes so much damage. And you're gonna see, like, again, if you watch any of my DN videos, when I'm using her, I'm always questioning, like, is the 40% even working? Because I'm just taking so much damage. She gets obliterated. It's not like her defenses are bad either. She has so much crit resistance and crit defense and everything. But she gets obliterated by Lilias, she gets obliterated by The One, she gets obliterated by Trader Melly, King, she gets obliterated by a lot of characters. Which is unfortunate, but ult rushing with her is not bad. The only team I've seen that actually works for her, really, is like DN, King, and like, I don't know, like Valencia. And like every time I face that team, I just obliterate them. It's just I want to put her here, but like I can't. It wouldn't be truthful. She's good though. She's very good. The one thing about DN is that her banner is fantastic. So if you're summoning for DN on the next update for global, the next festival update for global, right? You're probably gonna go out that banner with like King dupes, The One dupes, which again, The One, I might put him here on PvP, but The One, he's a god in PvE. He's a god for bird. He's a god for deer, especially deer. If you get like, if you come out of this banner with from the end with a 6/6 The One, that's huge. And again, King dupes, Megalda's on the banner. She's phenomenal. Brynhilder's in the banner. But I need to talk about something, right? DN's biggest competitor is Matron for PvE. And I must say, DN is not winning that fight. Matrona is just that good. And she's free. Matrona is being given out for free, like I said, on the celebration. You can literally get her for free on the free banner. You can pick her, guaranteed, on a free ticket banner. Guaranteed. She's free. She's being given out. And I would say a 1/6 Matrona is better than a 1/6 DN, for sure. So, on PvE, PvE is a weird one, because PvE, like right now, to me, PvE is either farming, like auto farming, or doing Demonic Beast battle, or raids, right? And for raids, I don't think she's gonna be good for Crimson. Like, why would you use her in Crimson? Crimson's so easy, just use the DPS characters. She's not gonna be good for Belmoth. Like, she's not, right? And then the only thing we have left is like Demonic Beast battle. I've used her for Bird. She's okay. Like, I would much prefer using Matrona or Green Arthur over her. And then for Deer, I think she's pretty good. But I think Matrona edges out. Matrona is just like, make a side comparison, right? For like Demonic Beast battle. DN has a taunt. Just like Matrona. But DN lasts for 2 turns on level 1. You'd think that that's fine, but I promise you it makes a difference. Lasting 3 turns, this taunt card is cracked. Lasting 3 turns is nuts. Matrona removes buffs. Huge. Huge, 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 huge. And then she has the passive heal. DN has heal, but guess what? At 1/6, she heals 3% of damage dealt. That's nothing. And I can never expect my people to 6/6 every unit like I do. You know what I mean? Like, I expect you to have a 1, maybe like up to 3/6 on initial banner. Maybe if you get like lucky, right? I cannot tell you that Matrona is gonna get replaced by DN, because I don't think so. I don't think so. For Demonic Beast battle, Matrona is just better. There is a team I saw for the end that's pretty good for Deer. We should use like Valenti, the one, Trader Mally, and DN. But requires so much RNG. Just like Deer. Deer requires so much RNG. It's just insane. Matron is just better. And again, it requires you to have like a 6/6 DN. So you can actually heal with her. Because you then have like no healing, right? That's the thing about Matrona, man. The passive heal is just so nutty. It's so nutty that I cannot tell you that DN is better in PvE than her. Like, she's good. She's really good. I actually would put her here because she's like really good. But it's just a thing for me, right? My top here is like Demonic Beast Battle. I should even change the name, but Demonic Beast Battle, right? The best of the best are what I put here on the top. I don't think Diane's the best of the best. I don't think so. She's really good, but she's not the best of the best. She's just not. Matron is just better. I think so. And it's my tier list. You can't do anything about it. And Matron is free. Free. Literally free. She is a free unit. So, if not for Diane's ultimate sucking ass at 1/6, I would actually consider. Legitimately, I would. Because the heal from the ultimate is very valuable. 1/6, 3% just sucks. It just sucks. Unnecessary shaft. But yeah, that's my updated tier list. I think Diane's fantastic. Like, overall, a really good unit. But she released after Trader Mally, Festival King, and Lilia. The 3 most broken PvP characters we've had in a long time. Like, Bon was broken, but we didn't have 3 back-to-back broken PvP characters like this, and then we got the end, which is good. But you know. And then again, Trader Mally is fantastic. I only keep King here because he's really good for Bird if you don't have Trader Mally. And he's phenomenal for literally everything else. Like, in whatever you're doing in the game, if you have King, you're immortal in terms of PvE, right? But now that's the case with Diane. Diane has a taunt, and then she has single targets, which are decent. But you need to build up. So, that's my ranking. Out of like 10, I would give like Dizian like an 8.7, 8, maybe up to an 8.9 out of 10 overall. But the units I put here and here are a 9 and above.